Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today on Teed Up, we recap Week 3 of the NFL, talk about AB, and give a preview of Monday Night Football. I'm Leak and I'm teed up.
All right, we are back. We have just about wrapped up Week 3. We got a pretty meaningless game tlitonight, the Redskins-Bears game. It's going to be an absolute snooze fest. Let's start off with the Thursday night game that we're going to recap every single game as we do every single week, and talk a little bit about Antonio Clown. He's had his whole issues off the field. You know, Jarny's booing him like he wasn't like the second coming of Jesus when he first came.
Word, as soon as he got there, we got AP.
We'll get into that, though. Let's start off with Thursday night. Let's talk about the actual second coming of Jesus, Gardner Minshew. He leads the Jags to a victory. And
the actual...
My man, he's taken over the NFL. Wait. Not in a skill way. He's not in a skill way.
He's talking about the fashion
just
and all
the way
that shit.
He is. This
bro,
man
he's not taking over the NFL. He's taking over Barstool.
He's
taking over Barstool.
Yeah, the NFL doesn't care about that
cool.
shit.
He's a cool dude.
He is a cool guy.
He's mad humble. His team, Leonard Fournette sucks.
I picked him
You know
up.
what I mean? And he's still making that team go.
What do you mean he's humble? He stretches with a jock strap on.
You got to be humble. You got to be confident in what you got to do that. You know what I mean? You got to be humble.
That's not humble. That's homo.
Look, hate all you want on Gardner Minshew, but that is the man. He led the Jags to a must-win game on Thursday Night Football versus the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, I don't know, man. They're just kind of you don't know what you're getting with Mariota. You always got to roll the dice. You really are unsure of what you get with him every single week. Some weeks he's good.
Horrible.
Yeah, that game was just the Jags defense. I think the Jags defense is back. They clamped the Texans up. The Texans really didn't get that many yards on them. Now they play the Tennessee Titans, who are kind of like a run-first team. They clamped them up too. Jags with a good win here. And this led me to believe, I was talking about this with Malik, are the Jags still going to trade Ramsey? Because I really don't think so. I think that Ramsey just trying to make a statement. And yeah, if the Jags are 0-3, he probably wants out because the chances of them making the playoffs are minimal. But look at their division right now, right? The Texans are 2-1. The Colts are 2-1. The Jags are 1-2. They're one game back. It's really a long season. And with that defense, and if they really have faith in Gardner Minshew to do his thing, I think the Jags keep Ramsey here. I don't really see why they let him go.
I mean, even after that dub, Ramsey still said he wanted to leave. Nothing changed.
He said that?
I mean, it was still reported that he wanted to leave. Nothing changed. He didn't even want to play that game.
No, he
did. Game after,
he wanted to play. He said he wants to suit up for his team and show that he's there for the team, show that he still cares and whatnot.
Bro, he did not want to play that damn game. He had to say that for the media and shit, bro. Ramsey does not want to be on that team anymore. Come over to the Chiefs, bro. We'll take you to the promised land once the Pats is over with.
I don't know. I feel like Ramsey, that was a good win for the Jags, and granted, they're going to play Denver now in Denver, which is a hard game. But if they could pull that out, they sit at 2-2. I mean, Ramsey's not going to get traded before that Broncos game, so he's going to play that week 4. And if they win that game, they're 2-2. Things are getting rolling. That defense is still back, and they're still making plays. Maybe Ramsey gets a pick 6 or something. I think he's going to buy back into the culture because that team is filled with just studs on defense. Gardner Minshew with the hype he's getting on the offensive end. I feel like they got their culture back from 2 years ago. I really believe that.
Speaking of the Jags, Jarny, what's going on with your boy, man? Fournette.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette.
He's garbage.
Do not associate me with that man. He's just making my fantasy team look stupid at this point. Everyone's just making I feel like at this point, I might as well just ask for my $50 back because all the
aren't you 2-1?
Everything that's going is not going my way. Edelman got hurt. Fucking Stephon Diggs is a bum, but we'll talk about that later. For now, let's focus on Leonard Fournette. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on, but I do not see Leonard Fournette being a Jaguar next year. This year, he's not going to do shit. Everything's just going downhill for that man. I just don't see it. I hate everything about it. Fuck him. Fuck the Jaguars. I hope they trade Ramsey. Get him out of there.
Yeah, let's go. I like that. I like that statement. But when me and Max were watching the game, we saw a couple plays where they were using him as a receiver, and he was doing his thing. I feel like, I don't know, we were talking like, are the Jags using him wrong?
No, the thing is, I feel like Leonard Fournette at LSU, he was a downhill running back. He literally could carry like two DNs on his back and still rush for 70 yards. So I don't know what's going on. I think it's the play scheme. I think it's the way they're using him. And plus, there's like the Jaguars quarterback sucks. So I mean, if you're gonna focus on
Minshew,
pre-snap, obviously you're gonna focus on Leonard Fournette pre-snap. So I feel like, and the O-line is so bad,
yeah, they're
bro.
bad.
Like I was counting how many defensemen got through within 2 seconds. Like as soon as he gets the ball, everyone is in his face. So it's not his fault. But
he was still making plays.
He actually like was really bad. He was negative yards until he had like a 60-yard gain,
which
and
was
even
like
then
quarter.
he was still only like positive. So I think he was positive 66 yards.
Yeah,
and he had a 68-yard run.
Whenever teams verse the Jaguars, like obviously there's not going to be a cute like. I feel like this would have changed if Nick Foles wasn't hurt. But obviously, whenever teams verse the Jaguars, they're just going to load the box. Like, everyone is going to be focused on Leonard Fournette.
That is true. No one's really focused on this.
There's not really much play action, like, presence and stuff like that. So, I do see him just not being able to just get to space. Like, the O-line gives him no time. It's just a shit show.
And my man, DJ Chark, he's breaking out, man. He is a good receiver. I like what they're doing with him over there. Let's get to the Packers-Broncos. So I think it's safe to say Broncos season is officially over. They're 0-3.
It was over game one, to me.
You can say that, but I mean, if they won that Bears game, they put up a fighting chance here. You know, things could have been different, but I mean, 0-3, they're not making noise, and that division's tough as hell, especially with the Chiefs and the Chargers. So they're kind of screwed, I guess you could say. They're 0-3, but I want to say the Packers defense is legit. That they looked really, really good. They create turnovers. They've been good all 3 games. You know, they were stopping the Vikings
for the first time in like a while.
Oh yeah. Good. I mean, their defense. They got actual guys. You know, I don't know how to say his name, Jerry Alexander or whatever, or Hyrie, or I guess that's Jerry. He was on the post-game interview, and he was talking. He's like, man, this defense is something different. You know, we're coming out to play. And he said, we're so comfortable there. It's like we're laying on the Tempur-Pedic bed. And I was like, damn, like, they're that comfortable? Like, Tempur-Pedic bed defense? Like, that's pretty scary. I wouldn't want to play the Packers right now. And they play Thursday night. They play against the Eagles. We're going to recap that preview that on the next podcast, which is going to be interesting. The Eagles, I think that's a whole nother story. We're going to get into them later. But yeah, I mean, Packers, Aaron Rodgers with the defense, and he hasn't even had to like really ball out that hard. He's not dropping 40 or anything. He's just kind of cruising the wins. I think they got a good system.
Good for you, A-Rod.
They got a good little system
going on. You don't got to carry
the
team as much anymore.
Yep. Let's go into the Colts-Falcons. Jarny cursed this game. He cursed this game, man. I had a big bet on the Falcons. It went sour quick. Julio Jones was doing great. Calvin Ridley had 1 fantasy point, literally 1. I could get 1 fantasy point. You just got to throw me the ball once, then I'll get tackled.
You wouldn't even catch that, bro.
I would catch it. Jarny, me and Jarny used to, every day after high school, we'd one-on-one, wide receiver, cornerback, would burn Jarny. Jarny beat me in a race, though. I will say that. He's faster than me.
We can probably call everyone from high school, and they will say that's not true at all. But
that's cap. That's so cap. I mean, we might
who's really capping out here?
We'll do another race soon. Jarny's skinny now and shit, so things might be different. But the Falcons, man, they just kind of they had a ton of penalties in this game. I think they're 1 away from the NFL record, so that's 1. The first half they were just coming out dry. The Falcons, they have this thing, and I don't know who to blame. Maybe it's the offensive coordinator, but this has been a problem that they've had since the Super Bowl run. They have a thing where they just feel the need to throw screens and all sorts of bullshit when they could literally just air it out. Matt Ryan, granted, he's not the best passer, but he can make plays. You know what I mean? Julio Jones was making plays single-handedly, basically. They were just throwing slant routes to Sanu, running the ball. Granted, you always have to run the ball in football, but they were doing the worst run plays with Freeman in the worst spots. They were running 3rd and 5, 3rd down, at the 50. You don't need to run there unless you're going for it on 4th, which they obviously aren't. It just didn't make a lot of sense. Matt Ryan had a good stat line. He did good for me in fantasy. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 1 pick in the red zone, which ended up screwing them. But honestly, the Colts just played a good game. Yeah, Brissett had 16 straight completions. He was pretty close to the NFL record, if I'm not mistaken. And the Falcons, I mean, I don't know, man. There's something about this team that just is like all the potential's there. All the pieces are there. I mean, granted, now Keanu Neal is out for the season. I think he tore his ACL. This will be his second straight year. He's going to be out for the season, so that sucks because this guy is a Pro Bowl safety. But, I mean, Malik, do you think the Falcons season is over?
Yeah. It's the goddamn Falcons, bro. Their season's done. They suck. The Falcons suck, especially with those injuries. Max is so heavy on the Falcons, bro. I knew they weren't going to be like that.
I thought they would be good enough. I mean, right now that division's wide open, especially when you consider what the Saints are going through with no Drew Brees. But, man, what is going wrong for this team, man?
You just gotta stop putting your faith in them, bro.
The Colts, they should have won this game, man.
Bro,
they should have won this game.
Stop putting your faith in them. Just once they start showing you otherwise, then start betting on them. You can't bet on them because of the money they got you in the past. Like, that's the past, bro. They're not the same.
I didn't really bet on them last year because they had all those injuries, so I stopped betting on them.
Yeah, but I meant the year before. That's when they were, like, beasting.
Yeah, no, I was on them, too. But, I mean, I'm 1-1 in Falcons bets this year. They're playing the Titans. Probably going to bet that, too. I don't know. It's just... There's something about this team.
If they don't beat the Titans now, bro,
Titans. Yeah,
you can't.
They should, and they're at home for that game. They play good at home, but still, it's just like, man, oh man. And granted, the Colts had a good game. Got to give them props. Ty Hilton got hurt mid-game, so I thought like the comeback was real. They were down 18. It's just not real.
Matty Ice don't have it in him. He don't got the ice in his vein.
He did fine. I really don't know. Like if you rewatch that whole game, it was really just penalties, constant penalties on the Falcons, and the Colts had like an extremely hot start. And the rest of the game, Falcons dominated since like the second quarter, but it just nothing really came through for them. Chiefs Ravens. This was a great game. I know Ty was rooting for the Ravens. Malik's obviously a diehard Chiefs fan, so a little bit of conflicting interests there. Mahomes, man, he's just doing his thing. Like he's really the best quarterback in football. Like I don't know, touchdowns come so quick for that team. Like it's just insane.
They're explosive, man.
Like I don't know, man.
Ty, how was you feeling about that game, Ty?
That was the best game all Sunday, and like if I'm being honest, like that game was crazy. I had the Ravens +6. They covered.
Can't believe they covered that shit, man.
They lost by like 5. But it was a crazy game. Like Mahomes, that's Mahomes. Like looking at him playing in that game, like he's throwing them touchdowns. He's a crazy quarterback. Like you're just looking at him like, bro, this guy's crazy. Ain't no stopping him. But Lamar Jackson did his thing too. He had that crazy touchdown. When he's rushing the ball, hit him with that shimmy. Damn.
All right. Hold on. The Chiefs' defense is probably...
It's not that bad anymore.
They're probably they're still top 5 worst defense, top 10 worst defense in the league, bro.
They're below average, but they got I feel like they got better.
They did get better, but those players they got haven't done anything yet. Matthew hasn't been doing shit. Frank Clark really hasn't done. He got a sack this game, but he hasn't really been doing shit. Chris Jones is always a beast. He was a beast even when their defense was horrible. Their defense sucks. That touchdown, that was just Lamar Jackson playing around, bro.
John Harbaugh took a lot of risks in this game.
Discredit that. Like that shit was.
It was a good touchdown. No, it was a good touchdown.
Bro. Like that was an OD touchdown.
You saw that Lamar Jackson shimmy.
Bro, nah, you saw the play where I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was.
Mark Andrews, the tight end.
Yeah, he was like, bro, throw it. Lamar was like, what do you want me to do, man? He was like, I'm going to run it, man.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That is what always happens with, I will say that always happens with a running quarterback, and just, I always see that every time. I remember, I think it was a few years ago, we had a running back. We had a quarterback that just loved to scramble, and everyone was just wide open, and he literally looked at someone and shook his head and then just scrambled the ball. Everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Bro, that was hilarious. He was like,
he put his hands up. John Harbaugh, the coach for the Ravens, took a ton of risks. He went for 2 every time basically, which is weird because Justin Tucker is money. He's a guaranteed point, so. Unless he wasn't feeling well or something.
They probably thought it was going to bite them in the ass, going for 1 while they're already down.
No, the first they scored first, right? They were up 6-0. They went for two.
Two, and they missed.
They didn't get it.
Yeah.
And that kind of like put them in a bad spot for the rest of the game because granted, look, they lost by 5. If they just kicked the extra point each time, they would have just had to get a field goal, which they were in range for, if I'm not mistaken, or they could have gotten theoretically. The Chiefs obviously they got a first down to end the game, but like that they just kind of made the game harder for themselves, and I think they put themselves in a position where like they were major underdogs. And they felt like they had to do all sorts of risky things to win the game. But they should have just, stuck to the formula, believe they're the better team. The Chiefs played good, obviously. They always played good. But to, like, typical Chiefs standards, they didn't drop 40 on them or anything. The Chiefs kind of weren't clicking fully.
Man.
It was just big plays, and I don't know, the Ravens, they looked pretty good. Lamar Jackson definitely, like, surprised me a little bit. He was making a lot of, like, crazy plays. He's so small, though. I feel like he's going to get hit one time, and, like, that's that. Like, he's so risky. Yeah. Like, I don't really like when quarterbacks are super risky.
Right now, Lamar Jackson was built to take big hits in college, but the way I see it now, if you give him a DM like Aaron Donald or a linebacker like Clay Matthews on a clean hit, I don't see him getting up at all. I see him just getting out of the game and them having to put in RG3 easily.
I mean, RG3, I kind of do want to see him with this team. Give him a second chance.
Oh, yeah, I would love to see RG3.
Maybe he doesn't do good, but just for interest.
I kind of miss him.
And Mark Ingram, former Saint. The Saints do definitely miss him a little bit, although Kamara did play great. We'll get into that as well. Mark Ingram had 3 touchdowns for the fantasy lovers. Yeah, he was going crazy. He was all over the place. Let's get into the Bengals-Bills. So this game, Bills kind of were in the lead. They were like up 17-0. Bengals almost made a comeback. I believe they tied it, but the Bills, they did the Bills things, and the Bills are 3-0 right now. So say what you want. Jarny, you feeling any fear that the Bills could come for that 1 seed and take over the Pats?
Wow.
No, obviously not.
Of Josh Allen, you're fucking bummed.
But hey, they are 3-0 right now. Granted, they did play the 3 worst teams.
There's a lot of 3-0 teams, though.
Yeah, but they're
shouldn't be 3-0, or not going to stay undefeated, I should say.
And they won for their super fan, Pancho Villa. He passed away recently. I'm not like into Bills culture or anything, obviously, so I'm not 100% sure of like what happened with him. I just know he was like a crazy fan. He had like all sorts of like crazy gear. He was always dipped out, and he's like he's basically like the face of the fans of the team. And Bills fans are always crazy. They're always doing crazy tailgates and jumping on tables and shit. They're all over the place. But he was kind of the face of all that. He was like their super fan, their number one guy, and he passed away. His son was there, dressed up as him, and it was cool. So Bills pull out a win for him, which is, it's obviously good vibes for the team. Jets at Pats. So really, the story of this game, obviously the Pats were going to win. There was no doubt about that. Story of the game, though, was the backup, Stidham, threw a pick 6, and that was the Jets' cover. Jamal Adams pick 6. That ruined Jarny's bet. But the other story is this is the Pats' first week without a B. Josh Gordon and Julian Edelman got hurt in this game. Josh Gordon came back. Jarny, what's the doctor's note on Julian Edelman and Josh Gordon? They okay?
They're saying that Julian Edelman went out with a chest injury, but other than that, he's okay. Josh Gordon is probably going to be fine too. It's just on to next week. Next week we got the Bills.
He's acting like he's Bill Belichick. Like, dude, like obviously you're gonna beat the Bills.
I say we just give the guys a rest. I personally see us winning this game, like flat out.
The whole world sees you fucking. Jarny be making it seem like they play like tough ass teams. But I see us winning this game. Like, no shit.
Obviously, you guys are only like -12 or something.
I just hope that we leave out Edelman, we leave out Gordon, let them rest. We give the ball to James White a lot. James White was absent for the Jets game, so we just run the ball a lot this week. That's all I can ask for. Hopefully Brady stays healthy.
Brady's fine.
Yeah, Brady's.
He does have that ankle concern though, which is interesting. But
this is just a game that we don't need to get too carried away with. This is the Bills. Like, fuck the Bills.
So Jarny, you were saying earlier in the podcast, you're like, fuck that man, Antonio Brown. So did he do the franchise dirty? He fucked up the Patriots way. Like, well, what happened with Antonio Brown?
I don't think he did the franchise. I don't think he did the franchise dirty. I think the franchise did him dirty. Because I mean,
really?
that's a first.
I don't know.
Because it's like I don't know. Like all the rumors came out. Like the thing is, if that much is coming out about a person and the person just keeps on like acting the same way, like he just kept on talking shit on Twitter he just kept on saying shit about it while all these rumors were coming out. And, like, Antonio Brown is not a person to just shut up and, like, listen to. I feel like, I don't know the guy personally, but I feel like based off what I see, I don't think Antonio Brown is the type of person to listen to his lawyer if his lawyer tells him to shut the fuck up and put his phone down. So
his team might not even be saying that because he's still going. Like, even today and yesterday, he's still going off. Like, he's out of the league, basically.
Now I'm hearing he plans to sue the NFL with the help of the NFLPA to get his $10 million guaranteed from the Patriots.
Jeez.
So everything that Antonio Brown is doing is just like, it's just making him look bad. Like, personally, like I said on the Twitter, I don't see him playing again, and boom, he just retires the next day. So honestly, Antonio Brown is just Antonio Brown or Antonio Clown. That is the question.
Or as Shannon Sharp said, Antonio Brown 6'9" because he's snitching out here. That's what Shannon Sharp said. Shannon Sharp put a little picture of Antonio Brown with like the 6'9" hair and the grills and the tats. It's pretty funny. Shannon Sharp got jokes. Shannon Sharp definitely got jokes. But I think Antonio Brown could make a comeback in the NFL. Maybe not. Obviously not this year. I think this year he's done. You know, he's got to do his own thing and figure out his life. He's enrolled back in college now, which is good for him, I guess, getting on the right track. Just got to kind of restart his life. I mean, granted, he's a multi-millionaire, so restarting his life isn't going to be difficult by any means. But I think maybe next year, you know, we'll see him in the NFL or maybe the XFL or something like that. I think a team will pick him up. He's too talented not to. It would be foolish for them not to pick him up.
Panthers picking him up.
Panthers?
Yeah.
With no Cam.
What team? Nah, I mean, Cam should be fine next year.
No Cam, maybe not.
What team you guys think he would go to if he were to get picked up next
The Rams.
year? Rams, bro?
I do think the Rams would pay him nothing and he'd go there.
What team
LA.
you got, Jarny?
No, I personally just don't see him coming back to keep it a buck.
All right,
I think he's done.
If he was to come back, what team?
Eagles. Eagles fans would love
Eagles,
him.
Yeah, they would love him.
Probably the Eagles.
That would make sense.
Probably a team that just doesn't give a fuck. Like a team that doesn't care what the media has to say.
Which would be the
Browns.
Eagles.
Yeah, which would be the Eagles and Patriots. Yeah. Probably like those are the two teams. Like I find the Patriots to be like a team that's like, it's a team that you're just misbehaving. You get sent to reform school, and Patriots is like the reform school. Like you just you do your time there. You maybe win. You maybe get a ring, and then you get out and go back to another team. You go back.
You're making that sound bad. That's like the best thing in the world.
Or go to prison for some people. Let's not bring him up. But
prison's like the Dolphins right now. Let's get into the Eagles though. Lions at Eagles. So the Eagles. All this hype about the Super Bowl, all this hype about coming and taking over the NFC, all this Carson Wentz, yada, yada, all this nonsense, they got the same record as the New York Giants.
Bro, it's week 3, bro.
But, hey, they got the same record as the Giants, and they were Super Bowl favorites, and the Giants were supposed to go, 3-13
Bro, their whole team got hurt against the Falcons.
I don't know, bro.
Their whole goddamn team was hurt.
I don't like Carson Wentz at all. I'm going to say Carson Wentz is just a tall Andy Dalton right now because I really do not like Carson Wentz at all. The way he plays football is so annoying to me. He's so, like, he doesn't care about risk. He doesn't care about injuries. You would think he cares about injuries because, I don't know, his past 2 seasons have been plagued by them. He doesn't care. He just wants to, he's like super, I don't think Carson Wentz wants a contract. Like, granted, he did get a contract, but, like, I don't think he wants to play football for the rest of his life because he dives head first into the end zone. He doesn't take sacks. He should just throw the ball away. He doesn't throw the ball away. There was a video of his linemen just, like, letting him get hit, and that was so funny because they were just, like, blocking for, like, 6 seconds, and he was just doing his thing, running around, being a maniac. And the linemen were just like, fuck it, like, like, I did my part for 6 seconds. You can't make a play, that's on you. And they just all stood there and watched him get sacked, which is pretty funny. The Lions right now, though, we're talking shit about the Eagles, but the Lions are, like, sneaky good because right now they're undefeated. They got 2 wins in the tie. And if that tie was a win, this would be a lot more interesting to talk about because then they'd be the same record as the Packers and they'd be ahead of the Vikings and all this. So the Lions, you guys think the Lions are legit? Like, do you think the Lions could make the playoffs? Because if you look at that roster,
it's way too early.
It's a good roster though, and they played 3 hard games.
They're such a weird team.
They are weird.
They win games that like you don't expect them to win. I don't think they're gonna make any noise.
I don't know, man. Their team, their offense is there. It's okay. It's above average. Their defense is pretty damn good, though. Their defense makes plays. Their secondary is, almost want to say elite. They get actual turnovers. They create turnovers. Matt Patricia, he's making his magic kind of happen with that defense. I think really it's as far as Stafford will take him. If Stafford kind of is the same old Stafford, which is just kind of mediocre quarterback who just puts up big stats and it doesn't really matter, maybe not. But they still got a decent schedule ahead of them. Granted, they have to play the Packers twice still, and they have to play the Vikings twice still. Those are tough games, and they still have to play the Bears twice. But, I think right now they're in a good spot. I mean, hey, it's better than being like 1-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they pulled out 2 pretty tough wins. So credit to the Lions. They beat the Chargers and the Eagles, 2 teams that were definitely Super Bowl contenders coming into the year. Raiders at Vikings. So the Vikings, this is a typical Vikings game. I don't know why the Vikings always just beat the hell out of bad teams, especially at home. The Raiders had no chance in this game. I feel bad for Raiders fans because that week 1 was so cool, and since then it's kind of been downhill. Derek Carr, he just kind of isn't there. Granted, he's not elite by any means, but he was making plays in the first 2 weeks, and now it's kind of just it's whatever. I don't know. This is a typical Vikings win. Jarny, your man Stephon Diggs, I know you're upset about that, that he's not getting enough touches or whatever. But
Any touches.
That's Kirk Cousins, man. That's his thing. He doesn't I don't know if I really don't think him and Kirk Cousins and Diggs have a connection. I really feel like they don't because I don't know what their issue is.
I personally feel like something happened with them during the off season, during preseason, but I don't think that they're just friends. I don't know. Because it's just Stephon Diggs is so good. Stephon Diggs, let me read to you his past 3 game stats. First game, 2 catches for 37 yards, 0 touchdowns. Second game, 1 catch, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Third game, 3 catches, 15 yards, and 0 touchdowns. 3 catches for 15 yards. I am probably one of the slowest people that can step on that field. And if you give me 3 catches, I'm giving you 25 yards easy. I'm giving you maybe a touchdown. I might
maybe a touchdown.
Jardy, you act like the Dolphins going to pick you up tomorrow.
I might.
Maybe a touchdown. You're talking the NFL, Jarny. We're not.
Bro, if you give me a red zone play, I might get you a touchdown. But I'm not getting you 3 yards for 3 yards.
I don't think that's Diggs' fault. I think it's
for fucking 3 catches for 15 yards. How does that even happen? How do you say you're one of the best wide receivers if you're catching 3 catches for 15 yards? You tell me. That's insane.
I don't know. There's a chance Stephon Diggs just isn't that good. If you take away that Minneapolis Miracle play,
nah, he was good that whole season.
He was. Believe me, but
and that was when
I'll say, if it comes to running routes, Thielen's first and he's second. He's right there. He's so
No, bro. I'll take Devontae Adams over in running routes. Devontae Adams over Diggs.
Thielen is one of the best route runners in the whole league.
Yeah, he's top 5.
Yeah,
he's top 5. I don't think he's second.
Bro, let's not even get into running routes. All right, but either way, Stephon Diggs is not being productive at all. I traded my quarterback for him. I'm pretty fucking tight about that. But it's only week 3. We have time.
Fantasy is a long season.
Hey, Miracle, you are listening. Step your shit up. That's all I ask.
On top of this, the Raiders don't play home or at an actual Oakland. They play a home game in London, which doesn't count for 6 weeks.
Sad.
So that's pretty bad. I don't think the Raiders are going to win any of those games. They're +7 right now to the Colts. So if you think they could beat the Colts, if they beat the Colts and the Falcons lose to the Colts, I'm going to rip my hair out. I'm literally going to shave my head and go bald. It's that would be so painful and concerning. Anyways, let's get into the Dolphins at the Cowboys. Ty, your Cowboys.
Yeah, Ty.
I know Ty wants to say yes, sir.
3-0. Listen, I told y'all, the podcast listeners, if y'all take the Cowboys on the spread, y'all gonna win. Y'all gonna make money. And what happened? 3-0. We out here covering the spread. That's 3 games in a row. God damn, another good game for
he said,
Jack Prescott. You know the vibes. We only taking dubs out here. Ready to win the division.
All right.
What y'all gotta do in the playoffs though?
Nothing. They're not doing
They're
anything.
gonna see what happens, man. You got Hater back to back. His team isn't going to the playoffs, so I don't know why he's chatting.
1-2.
Hey, man, Malik, Jarny, how'd y'all feel about the Cowboys?
That was a good
Probably
game,
watched
man.
the game, but feel me? I don't know.
It was actually a good game.
I like the Cowboys. I mean, this is a team that's finally using Amari Cooper to his ability. I've always said Amari Cooper is one of the best wideouts, and it didn't show on the Raiders, but obviously now with him and Dak Prescott, it's working out well.
Yo, Jarny, if you saw Max's face when you said that,
Amari Cooper's
Amari Cooper,
he's a beast.
Stop it. What do you mean?
Amari Cooper's only
no,
good in
remember when you
contract
said,
years.
oh, that was you said
Yeah,
that.
Amari Cooper's
he said
only good in
Amari
contract
Cooper
years.
is only good on contract years. He's been bugging out every game for me. So
They played the Dolphins, the Redskins, and the Giants.
Doesn't matter.
So chill out. They're going to play the
matter.
Saints this week, and they're probably not going to score more than 20. They're probably going to get shut down. And the Saints defense isn't even all that.
Shut down.
Like, let Dak play an actual tough game of football first before you guys start crowning him the king and you start sucking all those receivers. The only receiver I respect on that team is Randall Cobb because Randall Cobb is a beast.
Well, how do you not respect Amari Cooper?
I don't because Amari Cooper's only good in contract years. You'll see he's gonna fade off in the playoffs. You saw Amari Cooper in the playoffs? That's right. Because he didn't do anything
Amari
against an
Cooper
actual
was on
team.
The Raiders, bro. The Raiders barely.
They were in the playoffs last year on the Cowboys. He didn't do shit. He actually bugged out against the Seahawks, I think.
He joined the Cowboys. What do you mean last year? It was a random trade. What do you mean?
Exactly. Last year he was on the Cowboys. He played in the playoffs last year. He did good against the Seahawks, I think, but then the Rams, it was quiet. You got to keep Talib on him quiet.
This year he had a whole offseason with Dak Prescott. He knows the playbook. I only see good things coming from Amari Cooper. I see him rising. I see his stock rising this year easily. He even said he's in no rush to get a contract. No rush. Why? Because he's going to keep on balling. He knows that.
He just says that because he knows he's going to get the damn contract because the Cowboys paying everybody. I don't even know where their money's. I think Jerry Jones is just giving them money under the table or something because I really don't know how they could afford everybody. Anyways, if you're buying Cowboys stock, you're probably not a good stockbroker. You're probably going to go bank. You're probably going to lose money. Like,
damn, Ty, how you feeling?
Is broke.
Last podcast, I said take the Cowboys on the spread, and Max said that's not a good idea. If you take that, you're probably going to lose, and he was wrong about that. So, I mean, I don't got nothing much to say about that.
They barely covered
But, anyway, let's talk about the Giants and the Bucks.
Okay, so Giants-Bucks.
Yeah, got a little Daniel Jones.
Can I just start off by saying the Giants barely won that game?
Yeah, they did barely win, but hey, a win is a win, and we're 1-2, just like the Los Angeles Chargers, just like the Eagles, just like a lot of other Super Bowl contending teams. Now, honestly, look, the Giants they needed a lucky win because they kind of got fucked over in the Bills and the Cowboys game. They honestly should have won one of those two games. I thought the Giants were going to 100% lose this game because the Bucs were torching the secondary, which they did. Mike Evans had fucking almost 50 fantasy points. He almost broke the record for wide receiver fantasy points. The kid in our league actually,
Mike, baby, yes sir.
Ironically enough, the kid who had Mike Evans in our league lost, and he basically had 4 players worth of fucking production. Still lost. I don't understand how, but. Danny Jones season. It's time for Daniel Jones.
He said Danny Jones season.
Danny Dimes season. He's officially here. He's 1-0.
Sheesh.
And Malik, let me see your phone real quick. Go to my Twitter because I got a stat. I got a nice little stat for you guys. Because,
what is it? The Baker and
Baker Mayfield.
Bro, Baker, 34.
Known loser, known 1-2 player. Baker Mayfield was talking shit about Daniel Jones. He was talking shit about the Giants and Daniel Jones, probably because Odell told him to, because Odell's a little hater. But fantasy points through 3 weeks in the NFL season, Baker Mayfield, granted he played 3 games, 34.1 points for Baker Mayfield. Those are 3 fantasy games. Daniel Jones in 1 fantasy game, 1 actual football game, 34.2. Exactly. Baker Mayfield was talking all that shit in the offseason.
It's the Bucs. It's the damn Bucs.
The Browns played the Jets. The damn Jets. They played the Titans. The damn Titans. They played the Rams. Yeah, the Rams is a hard game, sure. But they played 2 easy teams.
So Max, if you were an NFL quarterback, would you rather face the Jets secondary or the Bucs secondary?
The Jets, because the Jets have no secondary right now. Everyone was eating on them. I mean, both teams are horrible.
I'd rather versus the Bucs secondary.
Yeah,
actually, I don't know.
Both teams are horrible. But look, that's a 1-game sample size for Daniel Jones versus 3 for Baker Mayfield, and Daniel Jones still has more fantasy points. Look, it's one thing to talk shit about a player who has nothing to do with you. Daniel Jones didn't even care about Baker Mayfield. Daniel Jones probably doesn't even think about Baker Mayfield. But the Giants live rent-free in the Browns' head, and we have the same record. And the Browns still have Odell, and they still have all this talent and all this whatever. Got the same record. And the Browns' schedule is only getting harder. The Giants' schedule is only getting easier. So the Giants having a better record than the Browns is something that could seriously happen. And that would be all the shit I'm going to talk about Odell and Baker is going to be insane. I like the Browns. That's the thing,
bro.
But
I got to defend my team, bro.
I got to defend my team.
It just takes time. They're not going to come in scorching the league. Like, no.
Daniel Jones.
Browns are good. Browns are still the better team. Browns are better than the Giants.
Yeah,
even if like Giants end with a better record, Browns still have more talent than the Giants.
But the Giants aren't talking shit about the Browns on social media every day all offseason.
Because like they really can't talk shit. Like, who are they going to talk shit to? They're kind of like, they're bad.
Odell was talking shit. He said they tried to trade. He said the Giants didn't like me. They tried to trade me to the Browns to die. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. You're about to die as a Brown because you're not getting no.
Yo, relax.
He's not getting no attention as a Brown.
No, he's not getting no touches. It's Baker's fault.
It is Baker's fault.
Baker's not throwing to Odell. I don't know what's wrong with him.
We're going to get into that
He's
game.
He's a weirdo, bro.
A lot of stuff happened. In other words, so as much as I could celebrate, our win as a Giant and Daniel Jones being good, there's... what's it called? The scales of life. You can't have too much good without there being some bad. Saquon is going to be out for approximately 6 weeks or something like that. That's the estimation. They said he's going to miss several weeks. I think it's 6 weeks though, because they're not going to rush him back for anything. So it could be even worse.
He's supposed to come back after their bye week, which is week 12, I think.
That's actually a long time. Yeah. So that would be really bad if that happens. He had like a high ankle sprain or something. I thought he was fine. But he was celebrating on crutches, which is not a good. It's good to see him celebrating, but not on crutches. So that sucks. But yeah, the Bucks got unlucky. They missed a 35-yard field goal, and when your kicker's name is Gay and you miss a field goal, that's like, come on, dude. You can't have the last name Gay and miss a field goal. Like, that's too easy to get jokes off. Like, come on, bro. You got to have a different last name if you want to miss field goals like that. Speaking of backup quarterbacks going off, the Panthers, they're officially 1-0 without Cam. Kyle Allen had a pretty good game. They torched the Cardinals, the Cardinals were due to get beat up on because they had two pretty impressive games. I don't know how they did it, but Panthers, they got their win. Cam, this team is good. Like, the Panthers team is good. We were saying that. I think the Panthers, I don't know how far Kyle Allen will take them. I don't want to buy Kyle Allen stock by any means, but it's good to see the Panthers team playing somewhat to expectations and beating a team like the Cardinals, because this was a must-win game for them. If they lost this game, their season was done. They probably would have cleaned house, fired Ron Rivera and stuff. So they're treading water. Another team whose season was in jeopardy and is actually probably over is the Steelers. I just got to say this: James Conner and George Kittle. I don't even know if you could cancel them.
Canceled.
They're canceled. I really don't even know what that means. I just keep seeing it on Twitter. It means I guess that means fuck them, or it means it just means you're done associating with them. I'm done associating. I'm canceling James Conner and Kittle because I have them both on my fantasy team, and both these guys are 1-year wonders. Both of them are 1-year wonders. They're not doing anything. Connor, I forgive. The team is a mess. Even Juju's not doing good. I know Connor's probably talented, but they're not even getting enough.
Jimmy hasn't been playing that good. You can't just blame it all on Kittle. He's not the QB.
Kittle was a touchdown machine last year and a 40-yard machine.
Yeah, because the QB was getting him touches. He's not really. Garoppolo's out here throwing picks and shit, averaging 2 picks a game.
Yeah, your boy's looking sus, Jarny. But Kittle, he was the guy last year. Granted, they didn't have Garoppolo last year, but now Kyle Shanahan, he's doing all sorts of weird trickery, and they have 6 running backs. You ever notice they have 6 running backs? No, they literally have so many running backs. They have Breida. They use Juszczyk in a weird way. They have a guy named Wilson or something. They literally have so many running backs and so many guys getting touchdown targets, except Kittle. And it's I'm canceling Kittle. Maybe Kittle's still a good player, obviously. He's one of the best tight ends in football. But in terms of fantasy, they're both canceled. Get rid of them. I have both of them, so of course I do. But I'll honestly trade both of them for Gurley or Kamara or something in an instant, because these guys are horrible. But anyways, Steelers, they're 0-3. Do you guys think? I think the Steelers are done. It's safe to say they don't even have a quarterback right now. Do you guys think the 49ers are legit, though, after winning a game like this, or has your opinion not changed at all?
No.
49ers, I don't think they're going anywhere far. 3-0, big whoop. 49ers, don't let the hype get to you. We have a friend that's a fan, and he decides to text us every Sunday. 49ers this, 49ers that. I don't see the hype. I don't believe it. 49ers are trash.
They're winning games, but look at their stats. It's bad.
They had 4 turnovers in this game.
They're winning games with bad stats. That shit can only last for so long.
4 turnovers is pretty bad. That's I don't know how you win a football game like that. Let's get into the next game. The Texans at the Chargers. There's really not much to say about this game. The Texans are pretty good. They're not elite in my opinion, but they're pretty good. They make plays constantly, and Watson is insane. And the Chargers are kind of meh. Like, their defense is all right. Keenan Allen's a beast. Phillip Rivers is weird at football. Like, Phillip Rivers doesn't play football, like, the right way. He throws, like, his mechanics are fucked up or something. Like, he's just such a weird quarterback. I never understood him well. But, I mean, hey, Chargers last year, they kind of had, like, a little momentum. This year, I don't see it. They're kind of like a dead team to me. Granted, you know, they have some injuries still, which I'm sure they'll clean up. But the Texans are good, and the Chargers are not that good. That's really the only thing I got to say about this game. You got anything to say?
No.
This game was
Fuck
just
both
like
those teams.
whatever.
Besides the Texans, I like
Texans
the Texans.
they're okay. I don't think they're elite. I think they're
Chargers.
Just
they're probably going to
good.
start showing up like week 7 or 8, and they're not gonna do what they did last year though. Last year they were on some shit.
Last year they were like
they're gonna be better than what they are now. Is what I'm saying.
yeah they'll be like a nice
get it
middle.
together,
Rivers,
yeah.
I think this is last year though. I think he's retiring after this year because
Nah,
I think so. I think he's got like
2-3 more.
two to three more.
I don't think he should be playing 2 or 3 more. He's not bad. He's just not like determined. I really don't know. Like every time I see him, he just doesn't seem
I
happy.
feel like it depends on what direction the team goes. I feel like if he keeps on producing, I do see them keeping him for 2 to 3 more, and they just draft the quarterback. But if he takes a decline, then I do see this being his last year. If it's a bad year for him.
We will see. He's the last quarterback in the 2004 class, though, which is interesting. Saints at Seahawks. So the Saints kind of just won a game playing football without playing football. They had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. They had a punt return for a touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater got a win without having to do anything. Like the special teams and like the defense or whatever. They just won a game off pure like randomness, basically. Chris Carson, I want to say he's canceled too. I don't really care anything about Chris Carson.
Max found out about cancel. He's just out here canceling.
Canceling is lit because like once you cancel them, like what are they gonna do? They have to prove you wrong. Like otherwise they're canceled. Like that's it. So Chris Carson.
What are they gonna do?
Chris Carson's beat. He's not doing anything. He has fumbleitis, and that's something that takes like a year to recover from. DJ Moore had fumbleitis last year.
Oh, you remember?
He recovered.
Jarny, you remember that shit?
DJ Moore recovered from fumbleitis though. He's learned. He's a lot better now.
It's hard to recover from fumbleitis. It's a cancer. It's a cancer.
DJ Moore was fumbling.
You gotta get the vaccine. Carson needs the fumbleitis vaccine, and you can only get that in the offseason. So Chris Carson like kind of lost the Seahawks this game. He fumbled twice, I think.
Yeah.
And that was just bad. Alvin Kamara is a beast. He had his like first really good game of the season. He started going off. He had like 37 fantasy points for us. And Russell Wilson, Malik. So tell us how Russell Wilson like kind of ruined your fantasy week.
Bro, so first of all, Barkley ruined it. Barkley got hurt.
That's unfortunate, but
and Russell Wilson didn't do shit in fantasy. What a slow game. I'm like, all right, it's just going to be a bad game for him. I'll take it. The end of the third quarter, I see he got a touchdown. I'm like, damn, he had like 14 points. I was okay.
I think he got 2 rushing touchdowns, right?
No. End of the third quarter, he just had 1, I think. But like the start of the fourth quarter, he starts bugging out. And I'm looking at the score. I'm like, sheesh, that's a little scary. I check at like 2-minute warning at the end of the game. This dude has 38 points. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
I think he ended with like 42.
He ended with 42 points, bro.
Which would be like the best quarterback performance of the week, if I'm not mistaken.
So I lost by, well, besides Mike Evans, I lost by like 3 points. I'll take it. Barkley's bitch ass.
Hey, that's not.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault, but he out here celebrating on crutches and shit.
Max is hurt. Max is hurt right there.
Nah, I miss her, man. Quan, he just. Yeah, it's the scales of life, man. You get Daniel Jones, who's the future, and he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but you got to lose your running back. You got to, that's how the...
Bro, he's calling him a Hall of
Famer.
I don't know. I'm just fucking around. But at the same time, you got to take the good with the bad. Like, yeah, Saquon's hurt, but we got our first win. So, that's the scales of life.
Was it worth it?
No. It's not worth it, honestly.
Yeah.
But hey, it's better than losing and Saquon getting hurt. That just sucks. So at least we won and Saquon got hurt. Let's go into the Rams at the Browns. So, damn, I gotta cancel more people. I gotta cancel like most of the Browns. I gotta cancel.
No, bro. If I had to cancel anyone, I'm just canceling Baker.
I gotta cancel Baker.
That's it. You can't cancel Odell. What did he do wrong?
I'm not canceling Odell. Odell's chilling.
I guess you would cancel. You would cancel Landry.
Landry's canceled.
You would cancel Landry, but Landry didn't do anything wrong, bro.
He
dropped one pass, which he should have caught. Other than that, bro, Baker doesn't look in Landry's. Bro, Baker does not. I don't know. He's like scared to pass the ball. And I thought, like, maybe it was because of the Rams. And I'm looking back, I'm like, bro, they played a Jets defense that was broken
Barely
down.
won.
And he was still scared to pass it. And when he did, it was horrible passes. He's overthrowing. He's underthrowing. He's scared, throwing out of the... I'm like, bro, this dude's just a weirdo.
Baker does this thing where he pump fakes. All right, so in 2K, when you're posting up, you pump fake because that's the 2K cheese. That's how you get an easy layup. But in real life football, he like does the pump fake thinking he's gonna get like an easy guy get like open or something. It just does not work.
Bro,
it just doesn't work.
The final drive of the game, he didn't target Odell once.
Which makes he's probably getting double teamed. To be fair,
It doesn't
they probably
matter,
had
bro.
Weddle and
If you're
Talib
he
on
threw
him.
a pick anyway. If you're gonna throw a pick, at least launch it, and Odell might catch it. Like if he doesn't, fuck it.
Yeah, it was four. I mean,
He threw a
fourth
pick
down.
to like fucking the backup tight end.
Well,
like,
he got chased down by Donald. First of all, Donald was all over the place.
Yeah, Donald
I've
was
said
on
it
his
time
ass.
and time again. Donald is the best player in football. There's nobody
Yeah.
better than Aaron Donald at football. He does everything for that team, and it's really insane because he's so fucking fast. He's constantly getting double teamed. He makes the job easier for guys like Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews had a big sack as well, like near the end of the fourth quarter. Like the refs kind of gave the Browns a chance to win this game. They threw the rough in the passer flag, and they kind of just got a lot of easy conversions.
Nah, they kind of earned it themselves though.
They did.
Browns
No, they
were
did.
playing good. That defense,
They had turnovers.
bro. They knew how to play the Rams. It's just the offense couldn't execute.
And the ironic part was the Browns' defense was all backups. They had not one starter in the secondary. So, a lot of rookies trying to prove themselves and whatnot. But I got to cancel 3 people. I got to cancel Baker for talking all that shit and just not showing up at all.
Yeah, he's canceled.
I got to cancel Landry.
Bro, that's bullshit.
well,
Landry didn't do shit.
That's
bro.
fine. All right, so Landry, you're like,
What are you canceling?
like I'm
him for?
eyeing to cancel you. I'm looking to cancel you.
That's what I'm saying.
Landry
He's
just
canceling
isn't
Landry
good.
just
Like
'cause-
he just doesn't do anything. Like everyone talks about him, but he doesn't really do
That's
anything. I don't
cap,
remember
bro.
Landry doing any. Like when's the last time you saw
What do you mean
Landry?
he doesn't do
Bro,
anything?
last year Landry was good on
Because he was
that
the
bad
one receiver, and Baker was
team. What do you
incredible
want him to
last year.
outshine Odell? That's not gonna happen.
But he has
bro.
to make plays. Like he just doesn't make simple plays. Like,
Baker
he kinda
doesn't
drops.
throw it to him, bro.
I don't know, bro.
Odell didn't even get touches. You think Landry's gonna get touches?
It just first of all they got to feed Chubb.
Baker wasn't
Chubb
throwing
is
it-
the beast of that
Yeah,
team.
that's a
Chubb
fact.
has to get fed. Like they need to treat him
Non-stop.
like Zeke because he's really like
And fucking
the guy.
Kareem Hunt's coming back in a couple weeks. Sheesh.
I don't think Kareem Hunt could start over Chubb. Chubb is
He's
really
not gonna
good.
start over
Chubb's
him, but
really
that's
good.
still like a crazy duo.
Anyways, I got to cancel Freddie Kitchens, the coach of the Browns, because he ran a draw, fourth and nine at their own 45.
Nah, Ty.
Bro, that was just so
Yeah,
bad.
Ty, were you watching that game?
I didn't get to see that ending. I didn't get to see the fourth.
Bro, that draw was the craziest shit I ever seen, bro. Fourth and I don't know if like maybe they thought they were gonna like we'll catch him, but bro,
That doesn't work.
4th and 9 in a draw. Rams weren't phased a bit, bro.
The Rams literally were like laughing while they were doing that
The
play.
coach was probably like, "Yeah, look how I catch him, bro. Watch this."
So it was like 3rd and 8 or something. They get an incompletion, and they were going to go for it on 4th down. My initial thought was
They're gonna try to get
get him
offsides.
offsides and then go for it on like 4th and 3 or something. So Rams didn't bite on it, and there was like 3 seconds left. I was like, all right, delay a game. The ball snapped, and they run a draw, which was terrible. Doesn't go anywhere. Probably got like 3-4 yards,
got, like,
and like it was probably the worst like decision in football because that actually was a meaningful play. It wasn't like they were
That
just
play,
like fucking
that play
around.
was huge.
That was like one of the most meaningful plays of the game, and they just ran a draw.
They just ruined it.
Freddie Kitchens, like, you ran the worst play of any coach in football. Like, that was,
That was
so
horrible.
bad. If you did that in Madden, like, that's a bad play on Madden. Like, it's one thing to go for it on 4th and 12 in Madden.
He did that shit in real life.
He did it, like, you're better off just throwing it at that point. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish.
Tell
but
you, man, Baker's scared to throw, man.
That was bad, man.
4th and 9, they out here running the ball. Baker's scared to throw.
That was bad, man. Let's get into the Monday night game. So the Bears are, Bears like aren't really that good. The Redskins are not good.
But Bears' defense is
The
good.
Bears' defense is obviously really good.
So, if anything, if I had to choose one,
All I need this game is literally 18 points from the Bears defense. Do you guys think I will get it?
You saying that like it's nothing, bro? Nah, I don't think you're
I don't
getting.
think you're getting
All I need is 18 points.
18 points. All I fucking need. Bears defense.
Nah, they'll
18.
probably get you like 12.
12.
Yeah,
10. Rams got 10 for me last night, which was good. It just didn't matter.
they'll probably get like a pick, maybe
If you need like
couple
2
sacks.
pick sixes.
Yeah, you would need,
and
like, yeah.
Which is, hey, I mean, the Patriots defense dropped 40, so anything's
Yeah.
possible, I guess.
unless the Redskins really come out like playing bad. I don't really see the Bears defense
Yeah,
like really dominating. I can see him like holding them, but
who do you play this week, Jarny?
Fucking Diego. When did his team get so fucking nice?
His team got good overnight. I don't know. I think somebody must have sneaked in players because his team is
somebody
crazy.
must have sneaked in fucking players. Because I'm looking at it at his team. First of all, before the week started, it said projected 150. I was like, who the fuck did he have?
That's pretty crazy.
that's insane. Yeah.
That's insane. He has
As soon as I saw that, it was projected 150 to my 118. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like this is disgusting.
And he has Antonio Brown. He had Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Antonio Brown's out of the league now. I don't know, man. I played Robichai this week, and I was kind of talking shit. I was like, I got a bye week this week because I thought my team was going to do their thing, and they did. But it was really just Calvin Ridley's fault. And he also had like a crazy, crazy game from Evan Engram, which is whatever. I'll take that. Giants win and I lose, that's fine. I'll take that.
You see your dad spanked Leo. Your dad's on a fucking win streak.
He's getting hot.
Yeah,
don't let the Brocs get hot because we're gonna.
He said, "Don't let the Broncos get hot."
Hey, if my dad wins the league, I'm scamming him. What's he gonna do? No, but let's get to the Monday night preview. So the Bears or whatever. The Redskins are plus 5.5 in this game. I think I'm the only one with the best bet. Ty, you don't have a best bet by any chance on this game, do you?
Nah, I'm chill. Keep the hot streak alive. This game does not want to touch.
Yeah, I don't want to touch this.
They're passing this. I got a little best bet, though. So I got the Redskins plus 5.5 for this game. I feel like the Redskins, they lost to two division rivals, and they were both two tough games. They lost to the Cowboys and the Eagles. But their offense is kind of decent. Like, I don't really know how they get plays down, but they get yards quick. Keenum is a decent quarterback. He's probably the best quarterback the Redskins have had for some time. He's better than Alex Smith was last year. Their O-line is pretty decent, too. The Redskins usually, their demise, the Redskins are the ultimate 8-8 team. Their demise is usually just because of injuries. But this year, no real injuries as far as I know. Their defense has a lot of guys on paper. They got the Josh Normans and the Landon Collins and stuff. And I think as long as they could just keep the Bears limited, I think this is going to be like a field goal game on both sides. So plus 5.5, a little bit of cushion. The Redskins are at home, do or die for their season here. The Bears are also flying across the country from Denver. So, that's not an easy game for them. They got to get up early Monday night. It's not an easy game for them. And I just a little, wouldn't put the house on it or anything. I just think the Redskins got some value here, plus 5.5. I think the public loves the Bears. I'm not really feeling the Bears that much. I think the Bears are really not that much of an upgrade from the Redskins, especially right now. And the confidence in Trubisky is at an all-time low. They really do not like Trubisky at all. They don't even make him throw. So run versus run game. The Redskins, as long as they can get 2 touchdowns, I think we're good with the plus 5.5. That's my best bet. Let's do a quick recap, though, of the records. Jarny lost last week. He's 5-7. I lost last week. I'm 22-12. Malik won last week. What was your bet again? Off the top of my head.
It was Rams.
Rams, yeah. Rams won, so he's 13-6 right now. And then Ty, he won his Cowboys bet. He's 18-6. So got a lot of good records going on here. We're making a lot of money out here. But yeah, that'll be all for today, guys.
Money.
Yeah, well, you're
Jarny out here. He's struggling right now.
I don't know, man. You gotta figure it out, Jarny. But
how about this? I will counter Brock's bet just for the sake of having a best bet.
Oh,
okay, so you're taking the Bears minus 5.5?
I'll take that.
All right, I got to load 3,000 my Bovada now, just to bet against Jarny.
Bears might cover that, man.
Bears minus 5.5. It's an iffy game.
It's the goddamn Redskins.
It's an iffy game. So Jarny's got his best bet now, minus 5.5 for the Bears. So we got a little head-to-head matchup, Redskins Bears. Jarny, you want to put $5 on it? A little Cash App money, little Cash App boost on that. What's going on with that, Jarny?
Cash App doesn't work in Ireland, but I'll take the bet.
All right, $5.
Cash App doesn't work in
winner
Ireland.
gets a bacon, egg, and cheese for this bet. So we will see how that goes. All right, so as always, guys, thank you for listening. You can be sure to follow us on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram at TU Sports Pod. We've been going crazy on both social medias, having a lot of fun. You can also listen to us anywhere, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts, iHeartRadio. I always forget about them. They're so important. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. We'll be back Thursday. We're going to recap the Monday night game and preview the Week 4 of the NFL. And we're going to get into that Packers-Eagles game. Should be good. So, as always, guys, I'm Brock and I'm out.
I'm leaking. I'm out.
I'm Ty and I'm out.
I'm Jarny. We're everywhere and anywhere, and I'm out.